Good evening and welcome to the Invictus Racing League for round number 10 of the season for Equal Performance here for the Chinese Grand Prix at the Shanghai International Circuit. A circuit that is a favourite among most drivers in the world, not so much on the esports scene. The circuit very difficult for traction, and tyre wear is going to be a big factor tonight, in which we could have the potential for a two-stop race. Obviously that is weather depending. But we have our list of drivers. Mikey just still selecting whatever tyre strategy he wished to pick out of the balance, the softer and the harder. As we go into qualifying for 18 minutes. The Shanghai International Circuit broke ground in April 2003 and it opened in June 2004, just over 20 years ago now. Obviously recently came back onto the calendar as of 2024 after the COVID pandemic, and has produced some fantastic races over the years. Obviously the architect of it is Herman Tilke, as is most circuits nowadays in the F1 calendar. With the international circuit being 5.451 kilometres long, 3.388 miles, 16 corners are presented to the drivers, and with one of the longest straights in F1, the 1.2 kilometre back straight down towards the hairpin of turn 14. We have some drivers now out on circuit. A few drivers selecting the medium tyre. I personally wouldn't be running that medium tyre in qualifying. Just mainly because I think you're going to want that set for the race potentially. As I say, tyre wear is not. It's going to be a very, very big factor tonight because tyre wear is very high around China. So you get lots of long sweeping corners, high speed that just take it out of the tyre every time you try and use it and lean on it. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, there's a lot of places in China where you actually slide the car a little bit more than you probably want to. So, but let's have a look at and on board with Matty Rudd. So we're going to cross the line then, down towards turn 1. Unique corner, you just absolutely fling it into 1, dropping the gears as you then tighten into turn 2. Bring it out wide and then take it in nice and sharp as you then hit into 3. Open the steering wheel to then get the power on for 4. You don't really hit the apex of 4 because you want to keep the steering open to get the throttle on. 5 is just a flick right into a hairpin of turn 6. You kind of a slightly late apex for 6, just to, again, get the car straight as you then head up towards the infamous turn 7 and turn 8. Absolutely pinned through 7. So a little lift and drop it a gear or 2 into 8 before you then drop it down to 3rd for turn 9. And again, open up the steering for turn 10. And you head down towards turn 11. A very tight 90-degree left-hander. But you want to get this neat and tidy, open up the turn 12, which then turns into turn 13 now. And then down the back straight, 1.2 kilometres of it. So we're just sliding a bit down to the right of the circuit and going back onto the racing line. All the way down, hit the brakes at the curb, about 100 metres now in the modern day cars. Open up through 15, 16. A simple looking corner, but very, very tricky because it's taken at quite high speed, but it's still 90 degrees. Across the line for Matty Rudd is a 133.6 to start. To start this session off, O'Stephen does a 34.4. And we have Clips Kiri. He's on a set of mediums, but he is going for a lap as Jack puts in a 32.9 to start off his night. Nitro on the mediums is a 32.8. Clips across the line, 33.1 for him on his medium set of tyres. I think that's Kent going to go quickest with a 32.4. Who else we got? We got Ginger Tiger coming to start a lap by the looks of it. Maras on a lap. 33.0, so 4th place for the Haas driver there. We got Typhoon. He's on a flying lap. He'll be the next one to cross lines. He comes down the back straight. Good evening, Spud, and thank you for being our weather minion for the night. Spud saying potential for rain at the end of the race. So, yeah, this is going to be very interesting. This Chinese Grand Prix, we're going to get rain at the end of it. As Typhoon comes through the last corner, up to the line, it's going to be provisional pole position. A 32.0. Keza will be starting a lap because he's invalidated his recent one. And more Stephen. He's going to come into the pits. Now he's going to go around again. That's interesting because if the tyre wear is as high as we believe it to be, those tyres aren't going to be very nice to be using on this second flying lap. Hope you're well as well, Spud. It's good to see you in the chat as always. We've got most people coming into the pits now. And this is the other thing with China, obviously with the higher tyre wear. I'm expecting a lot of people to only run 2 runs here. Because in reality, you're only going to get 1 flying lap out of the set of tyres. On the soft compound, so I'm surprised that O'Stephen's gone again, because I'd be surprised if he's really improving. He is actually improving. He's got a second up. I mean, that first lap must have been a very gentle warm-up lap. In the back straight he comes in the kick Sauber, opens up the DRS. Into the braking zone. And got movement. Keza has popped himself into 3rd place with the 32.4. What can O'Stephen produce on the end of this lap? It's going to be a 32.5 up into 4th place for the Sauber. I don't know if I've received those messages in the wrong order, Spud. I've seen the rain one first and then good evening after, but good evening anyway, to any extent. Hope you're well, and hopefully the race will go well for yourself. See, Spud's had a good season so far. He's shown some great pace. Yet to see him leave the garage yet. Again, maybe running only 1 or 2 qualifying runs. There's the cat coming into turn 14 at the hairpin. He's deployed. That battery usage already used as he crosses the line for a 33.3. Alpine moves it into the top 10 for now. Gattuso, the man who's been on qualifying form. Down into the hairpin, using all the curb he can get away with before it invalidates that lap into the final corner at turn 16. Deploys up and across the line, 31.37 tenths quicker than anyone else at the moment on the circuit. We do have others on the circuit preparing for their laps. Ginger Tiger, meanwhile, he is on a lap as we speak. Down the back straight he goes. A little bit of overtake mode. Didn't leave himself a lot coming out of the hairpin. What can he achieve through the final corner? Blips the overtake, uses all the deploy. 32-0 for Ginger Tiger. Just about sneaks into second place with the Mercedes. Eclipse Kiri has not long started the lap, nor has Ruddo. So let's go on board Ruddo. He won last time out in Mons after a close battle with Gattuso. This is turn 6. Here's 7. Up into 8. Looking nice and smooth this for Ruddo. Just making sure the car doesn't get out of check through turn 9. Easy to lose the back end through between 9 and into 10. And then again, just trying to keep it neat and tidy through here. Open up the steering, get on the throttle as early as you can. It's awkward because it's got slightly bumpy now through turns 12 and 13. Again, can unsettle the car. Stays left down the straight. Shortest run. Opens up the DRS. Nail the braking for turn 14 through 15, which really isn't a corner, but is classified as one. Through the last corner, out of energy, and it's a 31.7 second place for the Williams for now. Double check something, because I know Bruce was a potential for joining, but I don't think he's going to make tonight, which is a bit of a shame for the Williams, because we'll go through some standings which have been, I say, rejigged, as Kent puts himself into second place. Nitrogash fourth at the moment with a 31.9. Jack has just started the lap. And his main rivals here, Gattuso and Kent, currently occupying the front row together. Otherwise, he just gets a bit out of shape through 3. That's not going to help his time. Yeah, he's getting all actually. This lap is gone already for Jack. He might carry on just to get back around to the pits quickly, because, as I say that, he almost loses the car through 7. Far too much curb from the McLaren. Maybe just using this as a slight test run. What can he get away with through some of the corners? Backs off the ERS, and I think we'll see him in at the end of this lap to get a new set of boots on that car. Matty Rudd. Trying to work out if he's on a lap right now or not, because he's not got a lot of battery usage left for himself. Through into turn 9, Ruddo in the pits now. He'll be coming out soon, I think. I think Spud's near the end of a lap. Yes, he is. Spud's first timed lap of the session. To the line, and a respectable 33.8 first lap. I would say maybe as well. Not a full-blood attack from Spud, because a lot of energy come the end of that lap. Mikey, who's yet to set a time at the moment, he's out doing a lap now. Steven, Matty Rudd coming to the line. No, he's not. He's backed out of this attempt. Gone for the pit lane. So a new set of boots for that man. Keza. 4 tenths quicker, goes 7th quickest for now, a 32.0. Bruce has arrived just in the nick of time. Dare I say, if he gets in quickly and has a setup ready to load into the car, he may well get one attempt here in qualifying. It's good to see the Williams driver in the session. He was absent from Monza. There's Stephen on our lap at the moment. I think he is actually the next person through. Is he? No, he's not. Mikey with the next person through on a timed lap in the McLaren. Again, I think this will probably be Mikey's one and only attempt here, because the outlap, not a short one here at China. Through the final corner. And 33.583, beating out Sir Spud by 0.02 of a second. And I suspect he's going to have to, if he's got enough fuel on board. I don't think he does. I was going to say he can have a cool down and go again, but I don't think he's got enough fuel to do that. So Mikey, very much looking like he's going to be starting at the back of this pack. Who's steaming into the pits. Gattuso, he is on a lap, as is Sir Spud. Sir Spud on the medium tyre. I really just realised that. Is that what he's done his fastest lap of? Yes, it is. So yeah, at the time, very respectable from Spud on the medium tyre, and he's going quicker as we speak. Someone stopped on the circuit. That's Mikey, just letting people come through. Sauer making its way down the back straight for what will probably be its final lap of the session. Keza retiring into the pits, so his session is done. So across the line, goes 10th quickest in the Sauber. That's a good time, a 32.947 for Sir Spud. Question is, Gattuso is going quicker. He sets a 30.945. That is increasing the advantage for his provisional pole position. Jack just starting a lap now as Mike comes into the pits. That's the end of qualifying for Mikey, and that could well be 16th and last place, depending on what Bruce does in the Williams. Not anyone on a lap at the moment. Let's see, not really at the moment, apart from Kent. I think everyone else either on out laps or in laps. Kent coming down the back straight. There is a Williams, either Bruce or Ruddo, preparing for the final lap of their session. Here's Ruddo ahead of us on the road, but it's not going to matter to Kent because this is his final lap. Down into the last corner for the Red Bull driver. What can he do? He's second in the championship, second in the grid. Does go quicker, but not enough to improve his position. He's still half a second, just over half a second, away from that elusive pole position. We've got Clips Kiri coming round for a lap. We've also got Jack looking to improve that position. 11th is not where he would have wanted to be right now. Oh, and he's gone really wide through the hairpin, and he's gone round Jack. It's another qualifying that's just gone wrong for the McLaren. He's had some tough luck. But Jack TM53 Synopsis will be starting no higher than 11th on the grid. And he's going to be furious with himself, because he knows he's got better pace than that. Clips Kiri's coming to the line. Just goes a bit wide, and that is the lap invalidated. Ginger Tiger will be next across. What's he got in the locker? Third quickest for the Mercedes. Maras goes into 10th. You've got Ruddo. We've got Bruce on the way through. Bruce puts himself 13th, so for no real practice and a first lap attempt, that's not bad from Bruce. Ruddo crossing the line now, puts himself third, a 31.654. No one is beating Gattuso right now. And I must say, I'm not surprised. That is a great time from Gattuso in the 1 minute 30s. Now Stephen stays in 5th place. I think it's his highest starting slot of the season. The Sauber. 5th place for Stephen. Let's see what he can do with that start. It's going to be interesting for sure. But it is Gattuso who takes pole position here for the Chinese Grand Prix. Followed by Kent and Ruddo, the top 3. The question is, what's going to happen through turn 1 and 2? And are we going to get a rain at the end of the Chinese Grand Prix? Because that's going to make things very interesting when we get around to it. Confirmation of Stephen being in 5th. And here is your grid for the Chinese Grand Prix. Gattuso takes pole position from Kent. Ruddo lines up on row 2. Alongside him is Ginger Tiger. Row 3 consists of O'Steven and Nitrogash. Row 4 is Keza and Typhoon. It's an all-Haas row 5 with Clips Kiri and Maris. Spud and Jack occupy row 6, with row 7 being Bruce and It's the Cat. And row 8 is Matty Rudd and Mikey RK13, who will start at the back of the pack today. Spud saying he's pleased with 11th place on the mediums. Yeah, it was a good time, that, Spud. Can't take away, especially on mediums. It's very, very good effort. I think this you and Stephen looking strong tonight in the Sauber camp. Be interesting to see what positions you guys can get at the end of it. But as I say, with the standings, we'll quickly go through some standings. In the Drivers' Championship, Gattuso leads on 90 points with Kent on 89. Jack has 73 with Ginger Tiger on 72. Kriksik has 59. Clips Kiri 58. Nitrogash 55. Ruddo has 52. Sir Spud in 9th place. I say he's had a very good season as Spud so far. 9th place on 38. Typhoon is on 35. He rounds out the top 10. In terms of the constructors, bit of a shake around because the Williams points from the start of the season have now been reinstated back to them. There was a slight mistake with the points in the fact that they effectively got treated like a new team, which went under review, and the points that were scored by Sam Flan and Flaherty at the start of the season, they have been reinstated for the team, which means Williams do lead the championship by a single point. They lead on 128 points, with Mercedes on 127. Red Bull have, Aston Martin have 125. They lost position to Mercedes last week at Monza. In 4th is Red Bull on 98. 5th, McLaren on 84. Sauber have 68 with Ferrari on 63. Haas have 62 with Alpine on 35. And the RB team scored their first points of the season at Monza. They now have 11 and will be guaranteed the virtual prize money at the end of the season. So they've scored some points. It seems like we're going to get an early go to the race then. Plenty of laps to come here. Like I say, potential for a 2-stop race. Potential even more for a 3-stop if we get rain at the end. And the reason I say if, even though we've also had Spud in the comments saying rain at the end of the race, it's not always a guarantee. Reason being for that, in Invictus Racing League, we use approximate weather forecast, not perfect, which means the weather, it'll give you an approximation of what's going to happen. It might not happen at all. It could come earlier, it could come later. You know, a little bit like in real life, you're never quite sure when you might receive it. You have a slight idea, but it's not always sort of perfect. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We've had it before where it says it's going to be raining mid-race, and all of a sudden it started raining at the race start and finishes at the mid-race. So yeah, let's say the weather forecast isn't necessarily a gospel thing. It's there as a sort of helping guide, but hopefully we do get the rain because it makes things very interesting. There's your possible race strategies: hard to medium for a 1-stop, or hard to 2 sets of mediums afterwards. And speaking of said tyres, the majority of the field have gone for the hard compound of tyre. However, we have got Gattuso, Ginger Tiger, Nitric Ash, Matty Rudd, and Mikey. The 5 out of the 16 drivers, they are the only 5 on the medium compound. As everyone comes down, you see everyone on the massive 1.2 kilometre back straight. Expect overtaking down that back straight with the DRS. Also got DRS into turn 1 as well. So watch Gattuso come to the line. There's got a big gap back to Kent. There's Mikey, seemingly trying to please the crowd. I guess that's one way of warming up your tyres, is spinning the car a couple of times. And I don't think we're going to get a good out-camera angle here. So we're going to go on board because we have the 5 red lights, 28 laps ahead. We are green at the Chinese Grand Prix. Question is, who's got the best go? There's a lot of wheel spin from everyone coming off the grid. Down towards turn 1 they go. It is Gattuso that leads, but it is Rudder who makes up a place. We've got Maris up a place. Jack fighting his way with Matty Rudd. And Bruce going to be side by side. Down through into turn number 2. It's got a little bit tight between the RB and the Williams, but the RB prevails. And Bruce is being attacked by it's the Cat on his outside. Jack in 12th at the moment, down towards turn 6 we go. Mikey's made up a place. Into 15th, Sir Spud and Typhoon through. Everyone's kept it nice and clean though. Good clean first sector. Spud holds on to 10th place for now as he looks at the back of Maras. Goes wide though, opens the door, and Typhoon doesn't need a second invitation for that one. And here comes Matty Rudd round the outside, gets a little bit twitchy. Can't quite make that move done. Sir Spud does give him the room. Goes to defend down towards turn 11. To the left, into the right. Sir Spud holding on to 11th. Goes wide though, all over the curb. Opens the door for Matty Rudd this time. How hard will Spud really fight this one? Because Matty Rudd on the medium tyres, he's going to be quicker at this stage. And possible second 2-stop opportunity of soft tyres. I don't think anyone's on that though. As we have Typhoon down the inside of Maris. We've also got Ginger Tiger and Keza side by side as they're bottled up behind O'Steven. The 2 Mercedes nearly. Oh, as O'Steven goes a bit wide, comes back on the circuit. Keza looking to go past him now. I think he should do by the time he gets to turn 1. Keza up into 4th, and this is ideal for the Red Bull camp. 3rd and 4th, obviously the only downside is Gattuso in 1st. As Ginger Tiger now sneaks past the Sauber. That Sauber, I've only just realised the Sauber's got wing damage, that's why he's so slow. He's obviously gone into the back of someone, has O'Steven. And that car now, a little bit of a sitting duck, but nothing he can really do at this stage. It's too early for a pit stop. As he loses a place to Nitrogash now. Mighty Rudd making his way up. He's into 10th place. And he's got past Maras. As O'Steven and Clips now having a fight over 7th place. And you can see the train behind. And looks like Jack having to fend off Bruce. No, he's gone down the inside of Spud. Gets down the inside of him at 12. That was a great little move from the McLaren. Can he hold it? Can he keep it in though? Through the banking of 13. He'll want a little bit of slipstream. He might find that from the Red Bull of Matty Rudd, who is going past Typhoon. Ginger Tiger's got past Keza further up the field. Jack does complete the move. Oh, Typhoon down the inside, a little bit of squeezing. But everyone gets through cleanly, and that's the main thing. Matty Rudd into 9th place. So Ginger Tiger now up into 4th. He is obviously on those medium tyres. It's Gattuso starting to has pulled a gap at the moment to Ruddo. 3.7 is the gap at the front. As we've got Typhoon and Maras side by side through 1, 2 into 3. Typhoon still there. Oh, has a bit of a twitch. Oh, bit of a collision as the twitch happens. Jack looking for a gap to go through. He's not going to find one. He's down the inside of Typhoon. Oh, we're not going to go 3 wide, are we? No, we're not. Oh, Spud has to check up. As Jack has to anchor the brakes on to make sure he doesn't make any contact, but it's going to allow Spud an opportunity. Still side by side between Typhoon and Maras. Typhoon holds off for now. Clips Kiri round the outside. Oh, a little bit of contact. Side pod to front wheel. So Stephen just about hanging on to his 7th place for now. Jack, Spud, Bruce behind, Mikey behind that, and it's the cat. We've got a massive train here. We've got a yellow flag. That's for Mikey, who's gone round at turn 12. At the front there is Gattuso, and it looks like we've got Kent going past, and we've also got Nitrogash going past Keza down into the hairpin, and looks Sir Spud under attack, or looking to make an attack almost on Jack. Isn't quite going to happen there. Maris has gone down. He's gone backwards. Maris now, after 3 laps, well, 3 completed laps, he has picked up 3 seconds worth of penalties. Goes a little bit wide through turn 1, does Maris, as he looks for an alternative line to everyone else. Critical thing here, Matty Rudd now, it looks like he's already starting to struggle with pace in that RB. He's not pulling away as Maris down the inside of Maris around the outside of Spud. Can't quite get that move done, and Spud is clear going into 7th. Again, Spud a little bit wide on the entry of 7. He's on a compromised line through 8. Just keep it nice and tight though, just as we then go into 9. Into turn 11 so far. A fairly clean race as we go through this Chinese Grand Prix. We're on lap 4 of 28, still a lot of time to go yet. And that threat of rain at the end. We've got Jack looking to the outside of Typhoon into the hairpin. That's a great move from the McLaren, but he's not quite going to keep it. Yeah, Maris and Bruce having a little scrap as well. Oh, Maris gets a little, very, very wide. Bruce runs a bit wide. That'd be a warning for Williams. Jack once again looking to eye up a move down the inside of Typhoon, this time through turn 1. He'll keep that line all the way through 2. All he's got to do is try and keep it nice and tight. I think he almost runs to the back of Matty Rudd. That's going to leave Typhoon the opportunity down the inside of 3 and 4. Has a twitch. So he seemed to fall, which then forces him out of that battle. And unfortunately, has to concede the place to Jack. But Jack needs to start getting a move on here. Back up the field. We know he's quick. And down the inside of Matty Rudd, I think Matty Rudd not really. Oh, as Typhoon slings one down the inside. That's not ever opportunistic from the Aston Martin. The door was open and he went, yep, I can fit my Aston Martin in there. And as Keza picks up 3 seconds worth of penalties. There's your movers at the moment. Matty Rudd up 4 places. Jack up 3. And at the front we've got Rudder down the inside of Kent. We've got the 2 Mercedes swapping. They'll be leapfrogging each other at the moment with the 2 Mercedes. I also wonder, as Typhoon and Matty Rudd go side by side, they're still side by side up towards turn 16, but Matty Rudd backs out, can't get the move done as Jack goes really wide. Sir Spud actually ends up getting Matty Rudd as well. I think those mediums are gone already. We're only on lap number 6 as Matty Rudd looks to retaliate back down the inside. Can't quite find the gap though. Although Spud runs wide, the opportunity comes, the opportunity leaves. We've got a yellow flag. That is Maras has gone round at turn 6. Not sure what's happened. I do know though is Matty Rudd is struggling on those medium tyres. And that's what we kind of wondered was how long are the tyres going to last, and the answer is not very long. And I think the lead is at 7.2 at the moment. Still being extended, however, is that lead going to start being trimmed by Rolo and Kent as the tyres? I think the hards are now starting to come into their own, and there will be the faster tyre. You can see Ginger Tiger lost time to Kez's. Typhoon gets past Jack with DRS, and Sir Spud has a little look but thinks better of that one. Here comes Matty Rudd back down the inside of Bruce. They might be trying to play a little bit of leapfrog as well, just trying to get some time back on the pack. And they are fighting at the moment for the last points paying position. Ginger Tiger holding on to the back of his teammate for now. The lead at the moment from first second, 8 seconds now. Gap is not closing. Through 7 and into 8. Oh, that's a huge moment for Keza. Got on the curb, had a massive moment, big switch, good save. And amazingly, he's lost hardly any time. He's still within DRS of Ginger Tiger. Phenomenal bit of car control there. I don't know how much was skill, how much was luck, but he's still going in a straight line and in the right direction, so you won't complain too much, I can assure you. Jack and Typhoon. Not further up. I don't think anyone's really making any moves at the moment. No, Bruce down around the outside of It's the Cat. It's the Cat is going to have that move into 13th for the Alpine. Good little fight as Jack to the outside of Typhoon. He's going to have to go around the long way on this ever-tightening right-hander if he can keep his nose in, though. which he has done. That's good driving from Jack. The pair of them, make sure they leave each other space. But as you come through 3 into 4, Typhoon opens up the steering. He'll get the power on earlier. And he'll keep that place for now. This is the battle for the 9th. Oh, Stephen has weathered the storm of Clips Kiri, and he's now got a nice little cushion in 7th. In a bit of no man's land. Probably where he'll want to be. No one around him. No one to worry about. Oh, meanwhile, it's the cat all over the back of Matty Rudd, nearly into the back of him. Unfortunately, Massive Marshall not here tonight, so Matty Rudd, the sole RB representative, is looking to keep start getting a point streak going for the team. As Kent, as I expect, with a bit of DRS, goes past Ruddo. Whereas they now have Mercedes for company, and almost letting Ruddo go back past. Not quite sure what's happened there, but Kent's lost a lot of speed. Matty Rudd, he's in the pits. The question is, what tyre is he going to be on now? At this point, I'm going to chuck the tyres back up. But after 8 laps, Matty Rudd has had enough of these medium tyres. No idea what compound's just gone to the car. It's a set of hard tyres then for Matty Rudd. Be interested to see what his strategy is from here. Bit of fresh rubber on the car. And back straight, lap number 9. Nearly a third of the way through the Grand Prix as Nitrogash now overtakes Ruddo. He looks for a switchback through the hairpin. They look for a good run down the main straight. I wonder if these guys have almost like consigned themselves to the fact that they're going to be fighting for second here. So why not have a massive fight for second? And as Ruddo goes back down the inside of Nitro. Jack has lost position to Sir Spud, and that's Mikey down at turn 14 with a small spin. Now Stephen, because of all this fighting for second place, Stephen is now caught up to this train in 7th place. You've got 2nd to 7th now in this DRS train. Clips Kiri is closing as well. And if this continues, Clips Kiri is going to bring along Typhoon, and Sir Spud's only a couple of seconds behind Typhoon. And so Stephen is making a move on Keza through 11 and 12, goes round the outside of 12 and 13. The Sauber driver meaning business through there. And look in the background, you're going to have side by side between Typhoon and Kiri. And Typhoon opens the DRS, and that is all she wrote for that move. There's now 1.6 behind It's the Cat, so he's dropped a bit of pace in that little fight. The leader, because I'm intrigued at the moment, as it looks like Stephen looking to the inside of Kent, but can't find the opening he was desiring. Jack has now got back ahead of Sir Spud, and now he's going to want to try and close the gap to Clips Kiri and see if he can join everyone on the back end of this train. I lead now 13 seconds for Gattuso. So Matty Rudd is lapping potentially faster than Gattuso at this stage again. See, this is the difference between the newer tyres. Yeah, towards the front, Ruddo and Nitrogash. He needs to make sure he doesn't slot outside that 1 second. He wants to keep that DRS. As we go DRS, here we go. The Mercedes and Nitros is open, but he can't get onto the back of Ruddo into the hairpin. And I can see raindrops in the sky. They're falling from the sky. We are getting rain as Sir Spud now picks up 3 seconds of penalties for track limits. Luckily, he's got no one really behind him as such. But we see rain, we get excited. Why do we get excited? Because this means anything can happen from this point. How heavy is this rain going to be? When do we go to the inters? Do we even go to the inters? That's the question. Gattuso's just lost a little bit of speed here. He's dropped to below 13 seconds. Whether this is because the rain's coming, he's just taking it a little bit more steady. It's going to get quite greasy quickly though. 11, 12, 13. Typhoon 1.6 away from this train. The fighting for them has kind of just halted a little bit at the moment. There's Kent darting around in the background, maybe looking for a move on Ginger. Can't quite find one though. If I like Mike again, he's having a miserable Chinese Grand Prix as he's now being overtaken by Matty Rudd. Ginger Tiger into the pits. I'm intrigued. Are we going intermediates? The answer to that question is no, we're not. We're going hard tyres. This is interesting because if this rain continues, the hard runners will probably end up going straight to intermediates as Bruce comes into the pit. I think this is for inters for Bruce. I wonder if Ginger's made a strategic error here. Intermediates for the Williams. Now this is going to get interesting. Mikey into the pit. I think that's going to be for intermediates as well. Bruce, I think, is slightly being the guinea pig here for his teammate of Ruddo. Ali enters the right choice as the rain falls. Oh, as Ken has a huge slide through 12. Gathers it all up. He's going to lose a position to O'Steven. We've got a yellow flag out there. That is for... It's the cat who spun. Conditions are starting to look treacherous here. As here comes Nitrogash. 2 second place on the mediums. I must admit though, Bruce, is he closing in on Matty Rudd? That's the question. I think he is. Is anyone going to dive into the pits? Yes, the Mercedes of Nitrogash does. The question is, what's he going to put on? Is he going to put on some intermediate tyres? As Jack goes even wider out of that final corner. Oh, and Sir Spud's crashed in the pit lane. We've got a safety car. Oh, Spud. Oh, that is gut-wrenching for Spud. He was having such a good race. And he crashed on the pit entry. Medium tyres for the Alpine. Matty Rudd into the pits. Bruce continues on those intermediate tyres. Maris also going to mediums. Oh, I'm absolutely gutted for Spud. I mean, he's gone at the same place that Hamilton went off in 2000 and I want to say 7 in his rookie year. Back then it was a gravel trap on the outside of that left-hander going into the pit lane. So he's all now tarmacked, but obviously Spud's just taken a little bit too much speed into it or just lost it and he's nailed the wall by the scene is what my guess will be. Spud going in for intermediate tyres. Unfortunately, hitting the wall and retiring from this Chinese Grand Prix. Gattuso comes into the pits now. And with the safety car, reduced loss of time in the pit stop. It's going to be a set of hard tyres though for Gattuso. So he doesn't think it's time for the intermediates. Look at the train. See intermediates for Typhoon. I see mediums for Ruddo. All sorts going on. Inters for Keza, Inters for Clips, Inters for Typhoon, Inters for O'Steven. Nitric Ash and Ginger Tiger are now second and third on the hard compounds. Jack has gone to mediums. O'Steven's gone to intermediates. Kent is on mediums after potentially having a double stack there with Keza, so that wouldn't have helped him. It's the Cat is on obviously on mediums, as we know. So a real mix of tyre choice. Now, I can kind of understand the mediums, because if it's still just about dry enough to get away with slicks, the mediums are the tyre you're going to want to be on. But if the rain is going to persist, and eventually everyone's going to have to come in for intermediates, you'll make up more time on the medium tyre. Bruce and Mikey are in the pits. Bruce has gone for another set of intermediates, so he is doubling down on that strategy with a new set of boots. Mikey has done the same. Mikey's got about a good portion of the lap to catch up to the safety car. Remember, the longer the safety car stays out, the more chance of this weather leaning more and more towards the intermediate runners. We've got Stephen into the pits. He's decided to go back onto medium tyre, so he's had a run on those inters and thought better of it. He's going to lose a place to Matty Rudd. Bruce not too far behind there. Lap 16 of this race, and we've got Ginger Tiger. I think Ginger Tiger spun it. Ginger Tiger's spun it under safety car, and it's dropped him now down to 6th. This is the problem. Those hard tyres are going to be very cold. And the conditions are now starting to be greasy. We can see the cars sliding around a lot more. They don't quite have as much grip. So Ginger Tiger making a rare mistake under safety car. Not what he would have been looking for. We may get one more lap of safety car because Mikey still hasn't caught up to the field. We've gone past that second safety car. I say that, but the safety car is going to be in this lap. Mikey's going to have to get a bit of a move on if he wants to get to the back of this field. Gattuso now controls the pace. But be careful, he's got to give time for the safety car to get back into the pit lane. As Mikey is just about going to catch up to the back of the pack. We're going on to lap number 17. 12 laps to go in this race. Mikey rejoins the back of the pack. Gattuso goes now out of the hairpin, lighting the rears up, and my word, he goes wide out of the final corner. Oh, that'll be a warning. But he's got himself an 8/10 of a second gap. Someone's dived into the pits. That's Maras. I think he feels it's actually time for inters instead. Through the first couple of corners, this is treacherous for those on slick tyres. They're cold slick tyres. Keza all over the back of Ruddo, and you can see the grip difference. Collision between Keza and Ruddo. Oh my word, clips Kiri going around the outside of Ruddo. Didn't really have a choice, got a 3-second warning. That might get rescinded if he doesn't get any more warnings. But the intermediates are the right call in my opinion. Look at their grip difference. Typhoon up into third place, closing in on Nitrogas. The leaders are struggling. Oh my word, Ruddo in the background getting very twitchy. Ginger Tiger trying to get some heat into those tyres. Is it just a case that the slicks just need to get some heat in before they start working properly? Or is it that this is really intermediate territory? Oh, big twitch from Gattuso. Typhoon up into second place, closing quickly on Gattuso. Teammates surely going to have to order them to swap here. Keza down the inside of Nitrogas. This should be quite an easy move for the Red Bull. And it will be. The two Astons at the front, they still haven't done a swap. Now they have, because Gattuso into the pits. Nitrogas sticking it out, as is Ruddo. I think at this point you're committed on the slick tyres, hoping that this rain will fade away and sort of leave. Matty Rudd is up into 7th place, Bruce up into 10th. Making use of these tyres. Mikey into the points as well. He's in 11th. And Gattuso, this is going to drop him so far back. Matty Rudd, Ginger Tiger. Matty Rudd's going to win that battle. And look at that. Kent and Jack side by side going into turn 6. Mediums versus mediums on this occasion. And Kent will win out, but Ginger Tiger's gone round once again, down at turn 6. He is struggling on those hard tyres, promoting others around him. Jack having all sorts of troubles now on those slick tyres. See the lack of grip. Bruce all over the back of it. This really is going to be a pretty easy move, I think. I don't see Jack really defending this one, no. I think he's just going to let the Williams go. He knows right now this is not the fight he needs to be looking at. On the front, Keza 7/10 away from the lead. Nitrogas still in 4th. Matty Rudd trying to close the gap to the Mercedes. I don't know. Have we got DRS? DRS hasn't been enabled. As far as I can tell, there is no DRS. As Ruddo getting absolutely broad sideways coming out of the turn 14, 15 hairpin. Matty Rudd now closes lots of time. As there's Jack going wide. Obviously, Mikey and Jack have swapped places. Mikey now going around the outside of Kent. Beautiful move from the McLaren. Making use of this correct decision on tyres. Yeah, Spud did call it in terms... I mean, I thought it was going to be sort of maybe a bit later into this race, but it's come sort of at the halfway point. And my word, is this brilliant. Bruce on an absolute stonker of a climb through the field. 6th place now for the Williams, and here comes Mikey on the back of Rado. Don't want to go too wide. I know you're on inters, Mikey, but you still don't want to be playing around with those curves and the painted lines. Just make sure he doesn't run into the back. Just making sure he's nice and smooth. Use the grip. Oh, a big wobble from Rado, and that opens up the door for Mikey. Meanwhile, Matty Rudd up into 4th place now. He is ahead of all the slick runners. Into the hairpin he goes. Bruce not far behind. Bruce is looking quite quick actually in the wet. He is notoriously good in these conditions. Big time rallying driver on the WRC is Bruce. He's not sure of any pace on there, so he's used to this sort of handling in terms of... Oh, hello. Here comes Nitro, looking back down the inside. I don't think that one's going to quite work with the grip you've got at the moment. And Bruce definitely shows that sort of the door closing in that respect. Yeah, Bruce obviously does a lot of rallying in terms of sim rallying. So he'll be used to a car like this where it's not quite got the full amount of grip. Be helping him quite nicely is Ruddo. I think Ruddo's made a mistake somewhere, as has Jack. Running out behind Kent. Oh, and you can see the car is snapping all over the show. Gattuso up to 13th at the moment. He's a second away from O'Stephen. You can see the grip difference between Gattuso as he goes down the inside of O'Stephen. Nothing the Sauber driver is going to do about that one. Bruce, Matty Rudd ahead of him. Gattuso up to 11th as he flies past Ginger Tiger. Flies past Jack. That Aston Martin screaming through the field as Bruce now goes ahead of Matty. Potential here that Matty can work with Bruce. Just maybe pull away from everyone, because the problem is Gattuso is charging through the field here. Put the time up. Let's see the sort of times we're doing. I'm not quite sure what Nitro has just done there. Kent's done a 52.7. I'm not sure what Gattuso's just done. But Ruddo now in the pits, and it's a disaster for Ruddo 24. He's going to go on to the intermediates about 4 laps too late in this instance. Look at Gattuso. Ginger Tiger has O'Stephen for company right now. Jack has... Oh, that's a piece of carbon fibre that's just come off, and I think that's come off an Alpine. But Jack back into the points for now. Maras just ahead of It's the Cat, looking now at Jack for that points paying position. Gattuso, he's up to 8th at the moment as Maras does get past Jack. Gattuso looks to the inside of Nitro, thinks better of it. He's not quite close enough to make that move. Running out on the intermediate tyres. Around the outside. It's just too easy for Gattuso here on the inters. Now he's got 5.6 to catch up to Mikey. And he's got about 8.6 to Matty Rudd. And about 7 laps to do so. Question is, what sort of time is Bruce doing in 4th place? Comes to the line and it's a 46.2 for the Williams. What sort of times is Gattuso doing? A lot quicker actually, it's a 44.0, 2 seconds. So yeah, Gattuso absolutely flying at the moment. Ruddo. His time not yet representative because he hasn't done a full flying lap on these tyres. That's what saying. He gives a thank you for those that are on the inters that were watching the stream. Yeah. Spud, our good weather minion, calling it absolutely bang on. Rain due in this race, and the rain did come. Gattuso still flying along. Ginger Tiger having a battle with O'Steven. Jack's come in the pits. Maybe hoping. I mean, Ruddo has caught Cat. There's the Cat at a phenomenal rate. Is there a chance, maybe, for some points still for Ruddo and Jack? I think there is. Well, Ruddo definitely has a chance. I'm not so sure with Jack. It could be a tough one, but Maras making his way into 9th place. Is a proper grid order shake-up, and Mikey is being hunted down by the Aston Martin of Gattuso. What a day this is going to be for the Aston Martin team in the championship if it stays the way it is. And Gattuso's not finished. Oh, big moment for Mikey coming out of the final corner. He'll look to defend this a little. Tap down the straight. Gattuso, see 3-lap younger tyres on the Aston Martin. They will be a lot better in comparison. 4.5 seconds for Gattuso to Matty Rudd. Ruddo back into the points now, and he's right on the back of Ginger. That car though looks really unsettled. Just constantly looks like the back end wants to drift out and overtake Ruddo here. Hello, around the outside. That's a fantastic move. I mean, granted, there's a massive grip difference here, but still, you've got to have some brave mindset to go around the outside there. I agree, but Typhoon should win this, but as we know, it's not over until you cross the line when that checkered flag is waving. Jack, 9.3 behind It's the Cat, so he is taking a lot of time out of people in front of him. Question is, will he have the laps to do what he needs to do? Kent will have Ruddo behind him. Gattuso 2.3 away from Matty Rudd. He really has closed in that gap. As we know how stern a defence Matty Rudd can have. Nitrogas being hunted down by Maras. Again, this is going to be a good day actually for the Haas team. 3rd and 9th at the moment, and I reckon that's going to be 3rd and 8th by the time Maras gets Nitrogas. And Ruddo, pretty much as expected, will get Kent. Now, 8.3 to Nitrogas. I think it's not out of the question, this one for Ruddo, as he goes on to lap 24. 5 laps to go. So you know the question is Gattuso. We're going to have a fight now for 5th place. So that'll be just darting the front end in and around. Gattuso pretty much pushing him. He is pushing him. Oh, another tap. Looks down the inside, thinks better of it. Oh, you can't. That's a little bit naughty that from Gattuso. Luckily, no harm, no foul in the end. See the car wanting to snap. But here comes Gattuso. ERS definitely being used. But Matty Rudd, no slouch himself. And he's gonna stick it to the inside. Oh, bit of contact on the entry point. Still side by side, out of the hairpin, but Gattuso gets it on the exit. Matty Rudd won't give this one up though. Bruce is in the pits. I'm not sure. Is it now? Are we back to dry weather? I mean, the cars and Inters do look like they're sliding around quite a lot. Bruce onto the soft compound of tyre. I was going to say actually Maris in the pits as well. So Nitrogash on those hard tyres. He's weathered the storm at a very lengthy cost. And Jack now gets 3 seconds of time penalties. And he's in the pits as well. It's just been a disaster. And Jack, 10 seconds, speeding the pit lane. DRS is enabled. Bruce trying to get those tyres up to temperature now. Oh, and the back end. I think it's still a bit greasy out there. That car has no real grip at all. Bruce taking a flyer on this one. Letting his teammate Ruddo go. Typhoon's in the pits. I don't think Bruce has really had a good lap yet. Bruce was looking to counteract sort of Gattuso. As yet, all of the sort of leading cars coming into the pit lane. Oh, Matty Rudd having a bit of a moment on the pit entry. Typhoon back out into the lead. What do you do if you... Nitro is obviously going to stay out because he's on slicks already. He's on the hards. Ruddo coming into the pits now. Bruce is going to come out ahead of Gattuso. But I would say it's not really worked in the way that Bruce really would have wanted. He would have wanted a bigger gap to Gattuso because we know how quick Gattuso is. And now we have DRS enabled. The only thing is Gattuso's got to get those tyres up to temperature now. So whether we see a little bit of time loss from Gattuso, just trying to get those up to temp. It looks like Bruce is now back into a rhythm with those soft tyres and is starting to look to close the gap to Nitrogash. It could be a tough one though, 3.8 seconds. But he is on a set of fresh soft tyres. Yeah, oh, big slide for Bruce. Gattuso to the outside. Doesn't look comfortable in that car. I mean, I know he didn't really have a lot of practice. In fact, he had no practice coming into tonight. So, not surprising he's sort of struggling just a little bit. Ruddo now back outside the points and 3.1 away from Maras, who pitted earlier than he did. As Clips has got ahead of Keza. Clips only has 3 seconds of penalties to Keza's 6. So Nitrogash could well be on for a podium still here as Mikey gets ahead of Kent. That's for 8th place. The yellow flag, it is Jack TM53 Synopsis. He's had a moment coming out of the pit lane. It's rare to say this, but he's going to be under blue flag conditions soon if he doesn't get a move on. And he will end up a lap down. Typhoon is leading the way and sort of a surprising leader at this stage. He got the tyres. He got the tyre change correct. Moved on to it at the correct time. It's worked absolutely wonders from lap 27 to penultimate lap. We are on. Gattuso trying to close down Nitrogash. Can he achieve the feat here? Ruddo 1.5 behind Maris and closing. But Maris is also closing as he picks up another set of penalties. Maris was also closing in on this man, FRL O'Steven. Back straight, Ruddo back into the points then. 12th place for him. Well, at the front we've got Clips Kiri, very, very close to Keza. Not quite close enough. Nitrogash has closed down. Nitrogash has been closed down, sorry, by Gattuso. Ruddo now gets past Maris. Actually, they're going to be side by side at present. So they enter the final corner. And Ruddo trying to get past the Haas because he can see 11th place ahead of him. Unsurprising, Gattuso has got past Nitrogash through turn 6. The difference in compounds. Bruce has got Mate Ruddo only a second behind. I've got this nice little fight here between O'Steven Maris and Ruddo. Ruddo trying to get past the Haas so he can have a go at the Sauber. And that's a done deal. That's a great move from Ruddo. Maris maybe just slightly back out. This is thinking, you know what? Might be able to follow him through and get a point anyway. We are on the last lap, so we're going to go to the front because Typhoon is coming through the last corner, and it is going to be Typhoon who wins the Chinese Grand Prix from virtually out of nowhere due to tyre strategy. Fantastic stuff by him. Keza will cross the line in second place, but he's going to lose that to Clips because of penalties. Clips is second. I think Gattuso, yes, will get a podium. Third place for the Aston Martin driver. Keza is in fourth. Nitrogash is in fifth. Bruce, a great battle back through the field for sixth with Matty Rudd in seventh. Mikey from the back of the pack finishes in eighth. Kent got Ginger Tiger right on him, but he's going to take ninth place. Oh my word, that was close to the line. Ginger Tiger in 10th. Ruddo 11th. So Stephen 12th. Maras 13th. It's the Cat will be 14th, and we're going to have a bit of a wait because Jack is going to be the last classified finisher on the lead lap in 15th. I get the feeling, I don't know if Jack may try and get fastest lap. Fastest lap currently held by Gattuso, 135.0. Absolutely spud. Congratulations to Typhoon. Fantastic. Oh, and Jack comes. He's going to finish in the pit lane. He's not even going to finish on circuit. There we go. Jack comes through. What a day for Aston Martin, though, in the Constructors, I think, as Bruce picks up Driver of the Day. It was a good drive from Bruce in the end. Aston Martin, a 1-3. Look at that. Typhoon takes the win for Aston Martin. Clips Kiri will be in second. Gattuso rounding off the podium. A fantastic 1-3 for Aston Martin. The fight for the constructors well and truly on. Nitrogash will fourth. I think we've got a slight issue here because Keza left. Yeah, Keza left prior to result being pulled up, so it puts him down to 15th. But it was Keza in 4th, Nitrogash in 5th, Bruce 6th, Matty Rudd 7th, Mikey 8th, Kent 9th, Ginger Tiger 10th, Ruddo 11th, Stephen 12th, Maras 13th, It's the Cats 14th, and Jack Team 53 Synopsis 15th. Sir Spud, the only retirement in the session. Wow. A lot of stuff to take in there. But that is the end of the Invictus Racing League Chinese Grand Prix for round number 10 this season. A real shake-up in the results for a change with the weather being the way it was. But we have 2 rounds left this season. Next week we head to Abu Dhabi for a sprint evening. So that could turn things on its head. And then obviously in 2 weeks' time we have the finale at Sao Paulo for the Brazilian, or the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Interlagos, one of my favourite circuits in the game. It's going to be a fantastic end to the season. And with that little shake-up, the constructors fight well and truly on between the 3 constructors, at the very least, of Williams, Mercedes, Aston Martin. It's going to be a phenomenal end to the season. And on that note, make sure you subscribe to the Invictus Racing League channel, because you don't want to miss any more live racing for the rest of the season. And obviously, if you enjoyed the stream, which it was a pretty good race to be fair, don't forget to like the stream. And when you subscribe, make sure you put your notifications on so you get that notification when the next race comes next Tuesday from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But for myself, thank you everyone for watching tonight for the Invictus Racing League Eco Performance. But from us, have a good rest of your week. Goodbye.